What up, Twan?
What up, dog?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, man, just left for graduation dinner.
Oh, okay. Who graduated?
A young lady, man, close to the fam, man, and graduated today, and about to make some big moves for her life. So that's and about to make some big moves for her life. So that's good.
It's all right.
Yeah, man, it's good. Yeah, man, it's good to go to events. Positive stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Golly, congratulations to Zachary, bro.
oh, yeah.
Y'all gonna have something this week, or what y'all gonna do?
Huh?
Y'all got a dinner or something this weekend? What y'all doing?
Um, really, he hadn't really said that he wanted to do anything. You know, he's about antisocial, so
Oh, yeah. Okay.
it'll be stuff like that. Trying to get him to
Hey,
do
man.
stuff, and then he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. I'm not finna beat you over the head with this, but if you gotta let me know something a little in advance.
Yeah. Well, hey, he made it to the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Yeah, yeah,
ultimate
yeah.
goal.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, congratulations in
Yep.
advance
Yeah, that's the
to
biggest
Zachary.
thing. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, yesterday was
Yep.
the last day still teaching, so man.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Time be flying, man.
Yep. Shoot, about a year so shoot, about a year so Ray Dog will be getting to come out that thing, won't it?
Yep. Two. Yep. Two more. Past year, too. So, that's good. And looks like it's on to a year number 3 with no issues. With no issues.
Oh,
Yep.
that's good for him.
So, check this. Yes, sir. Yep. So check this out, bro. Since we live, right? 411 live. Everybody TikTok. Follow 411. Mr. 411. Follow 411. Mr. 411. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And Facebook. But
Yeah, I
make sure you
gotta give me a little catchy name.
yeah, man. It'll get there, man. It'll get there. The more we do this, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. But we until then though, they need to look you up. It's right there on TikTok. Their name showing right there. So I hope everybody follow. Make sure everybody follow me too, and keep it rolling. We appreciate that. And we know it. You know what I'm saying? It's real. It's not the script stuff like. It's not the script stuff like you see on TV. All that stuff on TV is scripted. You know what I mean? I thought about it, Antoine. Shannon Sharp. There was once upon a time. He was a huge Kobe Bryant guy. You don't go from being a huge Kobe Bryant guy to being all in on LeBron and anti everybody else. You just don't do that. It's scripted.
Lakers in
You know what I'm
5.
saying? Yeah, it's scripted. It's scripted.
Lakers in
You know what I'm
5.
saying? Yeah, it's scripted. You know, so that's not real. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
I
yeah.
know it's entertaining and all that, but it ain't real. When we do, we talk real. We give you our real feelings, a real talk from real perspective, and and then we go for it like that. Like I said, no planning behind any of this stuff. We shooting straight off the hip, man. So when you hear what's up, CC? When you hear 411, it's non-scripted. All this stuff is off the dome. Um, if we got to figure something out, we say it. We say, hey, we'll look that up, just a fact check. But other than that, the stuff coming straight off the top. And same thing with Antoine. Everything you hear Antoine saying is straight from his heart. You know, straight from the heart, man. He tell you how he feel. That's what I love about talking sports with Antoine. We've been doing it for years. You know, we decided to put it out here for the world to hear. 'Cause I know there's many people just like us that talk sports and chop it up. Oh, it ain't gotta be just sports. It can be anything else. You know, we get together, you chop it up, and that's all we doing.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. But with that said, man, hey man, where do you think Giannis gonna go, man? You know, what are you thinking about Giannis right now? All these years in Milwaukee, it's starting to flatten out a little bit. Is at that moment, at that point where you know, hold on, that's my TV. Hold on, man.
Yeah,
Hey man, I got one of them fancy TVs, man. I don't know what to
yeah,
do with it.
yeah. I hear all that iRobot stuff going on. You're gonna be in there one
Yeah,
day and
man.
the bug gonna tackle you.
Yeah, let me turn this volume down. I'm trying to get the game on the screen. But yeah, Giannis, man. What are you thinking about Giannis, man, with his career? What you think's
Uh,
next, man?
I mean, like, why leave? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going kind of against what you said before, which was like he didn't believe in the the teaming up kind of stuff, even though they brought Dame in. Um, but what Milwaukee should have done was kept that team that they had together, man. You know what I'm saying? That team that won that championship, man. Why? I mean,
Yeah,
like you keep those guys together. You know what I'm saying? Like they were a great defensive team. You know, had good guys coming off the bench, and it's just like you. I mean, I understand sometimes, and well, which really aren't that small. You know what I'm saying? They call a small market team like San Antonio, which has X amount of million people in San Antonio, but they call it a small market for some reason. But it's just that I guess if you're going to make a move now, um, I guess this is about the time. I mean, because really, we were talking about this. You're not gonna get Dame back until you. We were talking about this. You're not gonna get Dame back until basically the next season. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
like next March probably at
yeah,
best.
so you're gonna lose him for a whole season. Um,
Best.
yeah, so you're gonna lose him for a whole season. Um, then you don't, I don't know what they have as far as. Well, at least I saw something. It's talking about like the draft pick situation and the things that they had kind of given up to get Lillard and all this other stuff, and it's just like if you're the organization, and I guess if he's not happy there, um, you can kind of do one of those things that we said about LeBron a few years ago. Find somebody and see how much you can get for him.
Yeah.
If that's
Hey,
if he's truly
anybody else on the screen? Come on, I'm kind of moving around. You see anybody else on there yet?
yeah. Jerry Galloway, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You got it.
Chilling,
Uh,
Jerry. What's good, bro?
yeah,
What's up, Tyrone?
Yes,
We
sir.
kicking it. What you think, man? What do you think about Giannis and his current situation?
I apologize. I haven't really caught up with what's going on with Giannis. So you got to kind of fill me in. I can give you my thoughts on Giannis stuff.
Basically, well, at least I guess some of the things that, coming out talking about his him being unhappy in Milwaukee, and the fact that like I say, next season, they lost Dame right here in the playoffs, so he's going to be basically missing all of next season. Gotten rid of guys, and I think he's just at that point where he's frustrated, and maybe having the inklings of being able to move along. Um, the inklings of being able to move along, um, and just him wanting to kind of move. I guess overall, how do you feel about guys moving around? And like I said, me and TJ and 411 had talked about a couple years back, and I know you take some people and you can do it and you can't do it, but basically, if I'm Milwaukee, if he's unhappy and he wants to move, do you move him and try to get as much as you can for him as far as like talent and draft picks, or do you still try to build around him?
I think at this point you can't build around Giannis. I think Giannis, and no disrespect to him, I think he's more of a prima donna now. Like he won something, he won a championship, so now it's like even before then he was complaining and threatening that he was going to leave. And it's like his time to me has passed. So yeah, he need to move on to another team. And I don't think, I mean, he could go to a team where he'll have a little success, but really a lot of it got to do with him. Back in the day, those guys they stayed with their team no matter what. And what hurts these teams now, I mean, the market is what it is, but they pay so much money for these guys, they can't get rid of them, and it hurts the team. So now you at the mercy of what he wants to do. But yeah, I try to trade him and get as much money as I can. And even if I got to get a quarter of what I owe him, then do that and just build your team up again. Because you're not winning, you're not getting the success you want. So you might as well rebuild.
Well, I disagree with that because, like you say, I mean, like I say, with especially with Milwaukee now, since you like I say, they kind of let pieces go. You let Middleton go, you let Holiday go a couple years back. You know what I'm saying, and then everybody else that you kind of got in there, um, everybody else that you kind of got in there, um, you know, I think Connington has kind of come along a little bit, but like everything else, you just kind of don't have. Like I say, with the talent like Giannis, he didn't need a whole lot of help, but the guys that he did have, I think that they accomplished. But the guys that he did have, I think that they accompanied him well, and like I say, as far as like the ability to be able to keep them together, I think that's what you kind of did. But you're right, man. When you got those guys and they want those big contracts and they get all that money, then it kind of the teams aren't going to be able to spend like like the Lakers and like Golden State. They're not going to just keep pouring money into guys and not seeing a return on their money.
Yeah,
Agree with
I'm with y'all on that.
Oh, go ahead, Tyron. Sorry.
Oh no, you go, Jerry. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's the hard fact about it. It pays so much money. And I look at my team, the Cowboys, and, we paid Dak all that money, and I like Dak, and I think Dak is a good quarterback. Uh, but the problem is we can't build because we owe him so much money. Now, I know he gave up some, but he might have to give up some more in order to stay. So, when you're dealing with them guys like Giannis, they're getting all that money. They don't want to give up anything to build that franchise back up. And I just think he don't have his best years in Milwaukee anyway. I just think he don't have his best years in Milwaukee anyway. So I think it's time to go seek another market. Dame did it, and Dame could be, on the downslope right now.
Well, I know it's hard. You what was it? His Achilles that he tore, or was it his?
Yeah,
What was it? His Achilles that he tore, or was it his?
yeah.
So like, man,
Achilles, man.
yeah. So like when you tear that, man, that's one of those things that you really come back from. Being the guy that you tear that, man, that's one of those things that you really come back from. Being the guy that you were. Or like any athlete that like you tear up that Achilles, man, it just takes something out of you as far as your sports ability. Cowboys fan, man, y'all made a good move. I think picking up Pickens for basically nothing. You know what I'm saying? And to put good move. I think picking up Pickens for basically nothing. You know what I'm saying? And to put him on the other side of CD. I think that was a good move.
Oh yeah, I think that was a smart move, and those are the kind of strategic moves we got to make. Because, like I said, we ain't got the capital right now, but these are some of the moves we probably should have been doing anyway. So, and I think sometimes like franchise get so geared up on one player and not so much on the role players who really makes the success of the team. And if you don't have those players, it's hard to keep your team alive, right? You got three guys, one on defense you got to pay, two on offense. You guys, one on defense, you got to pay, two on offense. It's like, man, it gets to a point. It's just hard to pick up anybody else. But
Yeah, I was going to say I think the NFL is probably one of the hardest sports to, like once you get that kind of a rhythm, especially like like the run that the Patriots had and all that kind of stuff, man. You like you say, you kind of sit back and you look at it and you see you got 22 starters, and then you probably got another 20 25 bench guys that you gotta you know have to play because they got to rotate in and rotate out and all that kind of stuff. And then, like you say, man, it's hard. You want to pay who you don't want to pay, how young they are, and a lot of them working off of rookie contracts, especially in NFL. They have those rookie contracts and they try to keep those guys out on those contracts as long as they can to max out on those contracts as long as they can to maximize the money. And but like I say, I think for Pickens, man, he was and really, kind of going into something else, but finish for Pickens, man, he was and really, kind of going into something else, but finish that. Like I don't know what the hell Pittsburgh is doing. I would like somebody that's a Pittsburgh fan. If y'all out there, you tell me what the
Yeah,
hell y'all thinking, because y'all done did some crazy stuff over these last few months as far as like the team and like the decision making that's going on there. I don't get that.
yeah. I would.
Uh,
look like Tyrone went out, but I agree with you. My thing is, I couldn't figure none of that out myself. I'm like, man, what's going on? Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna, even if he come in, he might be able to find a good year. But man, I ain't put my eggs in the basket with Aaron Rodgers. Those days are gone for him. If he was going to
Yeah,
do that, he did it with his kid. He got his boy back. He had a good offensive line. He had everything he needed, but he couldn't get it done.
that's right.
So I don't know how. Like you say, they don't got rid of Pickens, and now you're gonna bring Aaron Rodgers in there. Who you gonna throw to? I know they drafted a few wide receivers, but Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna come to
and even I mean, and then
preseason.
you make that move for yeah. I mean, I
But
know
he ain't gonna work them
we
guys.
didn't
He got
strolled off from the foot.
yeah, and I guarantee you, he'll be asking for what's his name that just went to from what's his name? He brought him to the Jets, got him from the Raiders. His boy.
Devontae
Um,
Adams.
Yeah.
Adams. Yeah,
Now I'm not saying Devontae Adams may not be good and be helpful, but you just doing the same thing over and over and over. And I rather just say, hey man, they should have got Shador over and over and over. And I rather just say, hey man, they should have got Shador. I don't know what the heck they was thinking about. If they wasn't gonna do that, then they need to just go and sign Russell Wilson to a 3-year contract and be done with it. So yeah, it's just crazy to me. Go and sign Russell Wilson to a 3-year contract and be done with it. So yeah, it's just crazy to me, man.
Or Justin
Yeah,
Fields. I mean, you had guys there. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
So
Hopefully we can get a Steeler fan out here and pick their brain. But I
back.
mean, look, Aaron Rodgers already showed you what's going to happen. He showed you what's going to happen. He went to the Jets. He got hurt. You know what I'm saying? He went to the Jets. He was a malcontent. The team was going to be whatever kind of blah. And I don't think he's at the level now where he can lift the team. Now, if you told me he was like Peyton Manning on that Denver team when Denver went, now if you told me he was like Peyton Manning on that Denver team when Denver went to Super Bowl and beat and played my Seahawks that year, Denver had the defense. They had other stuff carrying the team, and Manning just was there to not make a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a veteran guy at that point. That hey, as long as he don't mess stuff up and he just kind of make the right reads when he need to, that's the kind of quarterback they needed. But
Yeah,
with Aaron Rodgers, that's the kind of quarterback they needed. But
yeah.
with Aaron Rodgers, he was supposed to come in and carry the Jets. He was, you know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming he would have to do that with Pittsburgh to a degree. I don't think that's the guy you go with. I
No,
think you just let that. I think you just let him ride, man.
yeah, you
yeah,
gotta let him ride, bro.
Ride, man.
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta let him ride, bro.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we'll
that's
definitely
it.
see with that. But then again, and he's an older quarterback, so
Yeah,
anytime something can blow.
One,
yeah,
yeah,
Anytime something can blow.
one,
yeah,
yeah, one player. And a couple years back when he was what first play of the game. When he was at the Jets that
That's
first
right.
first or second
That's right.
play, tore. You know what I'm saying? He's gone. So like I mean, and then you don't have a plan B. Like you said, you don't even draft Shador where you could let him, even if like you draft him, and even if Rodgers in, you groom him for the next year or so, and then let him become your starting quarterback. But like I say, man, I do not know what's going on over there in Pittsburgh because usually they are one of the best
yeah.
run
Yeah.
teams. You know what I'm saying? Like they're usually well managed. They make the right decisions and all of that. But like you say, these last couple, like this last year or these last couple of years, it's like, what are you guys thinking?
You ain't joking. It's like Mike Tomlin, even though he speak up, but it's like it ain't really you. Everybody can tell, but then it makes him look bad or look weak because he got to know as a caliber coach, he's being a Hall of Fame coach. He got to know these moves that they making ain't right. So somebody up above making these moves over him. What he got to do is go along with it.
Yeah,
Problem is, when he start, he gonna want to have to deal with it though.
and you
Yep.
know what I heard somebody say too, and I know, man, we way off subject 411. So whenever you get ready to curl that thing back around
No.
to the basketball, man. But I saw somebody with kind of that same thought that you said, Jerry, man, that they're kind of setting him up. You kind of can't fire him for you kind of can't fire him for for what he does on the job because he has won and gotten them to like a no losing season and gotten them to like a no losing season as long as he's been there. But like he's done some great coaching. But like now it's almost kind of like, okay, y'all are kind of setting this man up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you take away, you don't draft a quarterback, you get rid of the guys that you had, you try to bring in somebody who's 2,
Mm-hmm.
broken up body, and then you don't keep a guy there. Metcalf on the other dude, that is a who damn. Yo, that defensive backfield is they ain't sleeping all week.
Yeah. And one more thing too, man. Y'all was talking about it, but you know how Jerry was mentioning the quarterback, right? You paying Dak all this money. That's the kind of stuff that happens when, like, for example, in Seattle, end up that happens when, like, for example, in Seattle, end up getting Russell Wilson on the cheap. Kind of like somebody may get Shador on the cheap.
Lost your 411.
Oh, let me get back. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
I hear you, Tyrone.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, so kind of like what Jerry was saying earlier about the situation in Dallas with Dak, where you got to pay him a lot. Well, they got Dak on the cheap. They drafted him, a couple rounds in. Seattle did a similar thing. They drafted Russell Wilson a couple rounds in. Not really necessarily going to be the guy at first. Turns out to be your guy. Now you got to pay him big money, and that's when Seattle started kind of flattening out because you had to pay all the money to Russell when at the time Seattle had the Legion of Boom defense and a good running game. And they were the guys carrying the team, and Russell was on the cheap. So if you go back to the Patriots and their run, think about all the guys they really rolled with outside of Tom Brady. It was all kind of role players. Guys that interchangeable guys you ain't got to spend a lot of money on. Kind of like this Pickens move. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the secret sauce to a lot of these teams. When you're able to like have a system in place and then you can get players and plug them in, bring in somebody, plug them in. That's how you can really do damage for a period of time. When you have to pay everybody, that's when it really starts looking ugly.
And then
'Cause
again, I think with the Patriots too, and if you remember it, like Tom Brady was smart enough to understand, like I can make money. You know what I'm saying? Like I can make
Mhm.
money on other things. I can make money outside, with endorsements and all this. And I'm pretty sure Kraft was he was gonna make sure he was taking care of him. But Brady never took like those big ass contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like he never like,
Yep.
hey, I need to
Yep.
be the highest paid quarterback. Like even though he was the best. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a situation where he was like, look, you don't have to pay me. Get me the guys that I need. And then, like you say, and I'm pretty sure where they spent their money. And then, like you say, and I'm pretty sure what they spent their money on was that offensive line, which
Right.
was really good. You know what I'm saying? But again, Brady understood like I need these guys to watch my back more than I need. At every other position, like you say, was interchangeable, or they had five running backs while he was there, five wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Or like
Right.
different guys. So it was always somebody else that was being plugged in and moving, and then like,
Mhm.
okay, if this guy didn't work, we got him, and this guy didn't work, we got him. I think Gronk, once he finally got there, he kind of stayed. He stayed with him, but even then, I don't think he was ever like the highest paid tight end in the game. So
Yeah. It takes that, man. It takes stuff like that to be sustained, to have a real long, sustainable type of a run. Um, the Spurs come to mind. I don't think they really had to shell out for everybody they've had during their runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they had good, solid players.
yeah.
So,
What's
it's a
up?
way to
What's
put it
up?
together. Hey, what up? What up, Nard?
What up?
Hey
All
man,
right.
I was just gonna ask what that Joker was, man. And God strike me dead if I'm telling a lie. I was gonna say what no that man. We need an update on the game.
New York up three. 46 seconds left. Tatum on the
What the
drop.
hell? What the hell? Boston was just up like 2 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's game one all over again.
Wow.
This is crazy, man. But yeah, this is wild, man. This NBA playoff is one of the this NBA playoff is one of the more intriguing ones in a long, 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 long
Yeah,
time because
I
think
said this.
about think about the seedings. The seedings are like it's almost like a NCAA tournament where all these lower seeds are upsetting higher seeds. Like that normally doesn't happen in the NBA outside of that 4-5 matchup.
Yep.
So this is interesting. The NBA should sell this. They should say, "Hey, look, league, look, fans, your team can do this too. Any team can look, fans, your team can do this too. Any team can get there now. It ain't just the top team or the big city team. Any team can get there if you build your team right and support them, and if the organization do what they supposed to do."
Thing with that man, I think this is probably been some of the most exciting. Like watch some of the most exciting. Like watch here they come back. These guys came back. Houston came back against Golden State when they thought they were going to be put out.
Yeah.
Minnesota State when they thought they were going to be put out.
Yeah.
Minnesota came back on LA when they thought that game was wrapped up. Indies come back twice on Cleveland. Like you say, New York right now. It's like it makes you watch the games, man.
Yeah, it's any given Sunday. Except it's every night of the week in basketball. It's like that's what you want. You don't want it to be where, okay, well, we already know it's going to be Cleveland and Golden State in the finals for 4 years. Like, this is wide open. Like, you got an argument for at least what, 8 teams?
Yep.
Oh yeah, everybody that's still left is a legit contender. I mean, like everybody left can win the championship.
Agreed. Look at the 4 teams from the East: Cleveland, Boston, Indiana, New York. And I want to say this, by the way, the Pacers are playing, they can make it out the East and go to the finals.
Yes. If you're an Indiana fan, you sitting here believing your team can win the whole thing. If you're looking at how Boston playing, you can play with New York. You showing already you play with Cleveland. Yeah. Any one of those teams can go to the finals.
Yep, in the West, it's anybody. OKC, Denver, Golden State, and Minnesota.
Yep. Any of them. And then you got the injury factor with Curry, which wasn't a question that I had initially for tonight because I didn't know Curry was injured. But we might as well throw it out there on the table now.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the injury to Curry? Does Golden State still win the series, or does Minnesota take advantage of this and win the series?
I think Minnesota will take advantage of this Steph Curry injury. They said he will be out for at least a week. Take advantage of this Steph Curry injury. They said he will be out for at least a week. It's a great one with the hamstring, so not that bad. He'll be out for a week, so which means he'll be back for Game 5 or Game 6 of the conference semifinals. So I still believe that the Timberwolves will semifinals. So still believe that the Timberwolves will still win the series. But I said this before the series started. It's going to be a long series.
Yeah, and I kind of, piggybacking off of that, man. It's one thing to be good, for one game, but when guys can, Buddy Hield, sorry y'all, he showed up late in the game. He played heroics and he did his thing. But what happens when guys start game planning you? Now, now they're going in like, hey, we don't have to worry about Steph doing this, and this. And now we can kind of key in, hey, we're gonna probably put the effort on, we're gonna probably guard Butler, double team him. And like now, who else is gonna beat me? If Buddy Hield can beat me 3 more games, then I'll take that loss. But I'm not gonna let Jimmy Butler do it. And I don't think anybody else is capable of doing it. So that's how I see that. I think it really hurts Golden State because, like for me, they were my team. I was kind of hoping that they could find a way to at least get to the Western Conference Finals and maybe the NBA Finals and push through that way, but we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what y'all saying. I think that this hurt Golden State a lot. Of course, they're gonna not make Steph Curry injury seem as bad as it may be. I'm not saying that it is that bad, but I've had hamstring, and even though you might come back in a week, it's a good chance you're gonna pull that joker again if you ain't careful. And so it's like even if he come back, he's gonna be limited in his role for 1 or 2 games. And so now he's always dangerous on the perimeter, of course, but all the other stuff that he do, he won't be able to do that. And that's a big boost to the team when he's not in the game and he's not performing because he is the one that's going to motivate the team. He is the one that they're going to be expecting to make the big shot to distribute the ball and all that stuff. But, we'll see. I think that Memphis is hungry. Not Memphis, y'all forgive me. I'm all over the place. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is hungry, and they've been hungry since last year. Ant-Man got to keep his game stepped up. He sometimes will take some time off, but he's got to be the role player. He got to be the key role player. It's time for him to step up and really be the dominant guy, right? We know that he is, but really lead his team. So,
Yeah, and I think Minnesota, man, they've been shooting horrifically these last two games. The game against the Lakers, the one that they actually eliminated the Lakers, but they shot it horrible. And then the first game against Golden State, I think they're like 12 for 70 or something like that on on 3-point attempts or so, it's something
Yeah.
bad like that. And they better hurry up and do it because oh my gosh, New York just won.
Oh my God. The Knicks won. They are 2-0 in the series. Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know what is going to happen now?
Man.
The most irritating man in the whole world is about to start talking so much junk that you're going to throw up. Stephen A. Smith is not going to shut up. You're going to throw up. Stephen A. Smith is not going to shut up.
Oh man, I can wait to hear Stephen A. tomorrow.
He is going to
tonight.
choke him because he is going to talk so much. He is going to talk so much crap, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you are about to get so much nonsense coming out of his mouth about his boys and whatever. But the one thing about it, man, basketball does well when guys like that do well. So when those teams do well, like those big teams, whether people like it or not, or like when New York does well, when LA does well, it helps the entire league out because you've got so many fans that are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to Hawks games, and like at LA, and you got just as many Laker fans in Atlanta stadium as you do the Atlanta fans. So it's one of those things that when the bigger teams do well, it does the whole league does well.
Well, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great story. But I will say this: don't forget that I forget what year it was, but it was in the '90s. The Houston Rockets fell down. They lost their first two home games to Phoenix, and they end up winning the series in 7. Because I think they went to Phoenix and won the next two on the road. And just because it's 0-2 doesn't mean that Boston can't win the next two.
Yeah.
Because they're showing you that every game gonna pretty much come down to the end. So it's not over for Boston if anybody's laid some money on Boston or anything like that. That's the only thing I say to it. But it makes it. But it does put an extra bunch of spice in the series now because Boston and Cleveland have to win 4 out of the next 5 games in order to and Cleveland have to win 4 out of the next 5 games in order to advance.
Yeah. But can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, so the Knicks just won 91-90. They're up 2-0. All right, so the Knicks just won 91-90. They're up 2-0. Indiana is up 2-0. And both of these teams have come from behind wins, comeback wins in both games. And these two are on the verge of meeting against each other, Pacers versus Knicks, in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's another rivalry.
Oh, yeah. They go back in the day, too.
Yeah, so that's another rivalry that they can, write storylines about and even show old games. Because if these series do end quick, they're going to have to do something to fill the time. So you might as well pull up some old games between the Knicks and the Pacers and let them things run. Wait on the other series. The other series to do what they do. So
let me ask y'all this.
Yep.
Do y'all think
a la Reggie Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think the Pacers and Cavs series is over? Do you think Indiana has won it? Or do you believe Cleveland can still come back and make it a series and win it? Because I got the Cavs in 6.
I'll answer mine real quick and get out the way and pass it to Antoine. And he can pass it to Jerry. But I say at this point no because But I say at this point no because of injuries. That's what I say because of the key players being injured.
Uh,
I say it's going to be a tough hill for them to climb at this point. They just going to have to figure out what they can do for next year now. That's my thought. Yeah. All right.
I think, yeah, and I'll go real quick with that too. I think, yeah, if Garland isn't going to play or he's going to be limited, yeah, I mean, you see how much of impact that he has while he's on the floor and how he's been, how he's impacted of not being on the floor. I think they got away with it a little bit against the Heat, and um, maybe got a little comfortable in thinking that that they could kind of play without him. But it's if without him playing, I don't think they can. I don't think they're going to beat Indiana. I just don't see it. If they're not in, if he's not going to play or if he can't be effective, then I don't see them beating the
Yeah, I
Pacers.
kind of agree with that. I saw the game, and I feel the same way. I don't think Cleveland has a chance of beating them.
Yeah. So I think we all gonna go with Indiana at this point. Now, I will say this: I thought Cleveland would make the Eastern Conference Finals to play Boston when this all started, but obviously things don't go the way you always think they will.
Yeah,
And that's the beauty of basketball, though, man. That's why you what was Herm
Play,
Edwards. This is why you play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to.
play to
This is
win the
why we
game.
play. You play the game because, yeah, like you said, and if you just went off of who and if you just went off of who had the best record, whoever had the best record in the regular season, you would just say, all right, well, the regular season person is the NBA champion, and that's why why those other things go on, and it makes for good, it makes for good, you know, why those other things go on, and it makes for good, it makes for good sport. And like I say, I think this has been some of the most interesting and best playoffs in years, just simply because the road teams are, upset and everything. And it's like, okay, we're not just, it's not just the and it's like, okay, we're not just, it's not just the was it quid pro quo or however you say that, and it's not just the normal thing.
Yes, sir.
It's
Hey,
something
Ashley
different.
Mo looks like he's trying to join us, and he's a Steelers fan, so we'll get to get some Steelers perspective from him whenever he gets on here. Looks like I saw him in the channel somewhere. And look, this is wide open forum for anybody. So people who are here listening, if you want to join in, feel free to. You want to join in, feel free to jump in and give us your thoughts on whatever you want to talk about. Uh,
Except for that dude that except for that dude that except for that dude that except for that dude that
yeah,
Tony called out that
Rolo
dude.
or whatever.
Whoever that cat is, you might not. Yeah, you might not want to. You
Yeah,
might
because
Hey,
we ain't.
not have him.
hey, y'all, I got one for you. And we was teams, but what do y'all think about MB? Is
Oh,
where you think could go with him? Is
oh,
where you think could go with him,
ooh,
or what the
interesting.
Sixers need to do with him?
Yeah, he's a forgotten man, isn't he?
hmm And then he got
Man,
hurt.
What I mean, like, well, what you think, Jerry? You brought it up.
I think it's time for
What's
him
your
to
thoughts?
go. I think that the Sixers got to go in another direction. They gave him every effort, and it ain't all
yeah,
on him. So I don't want to make it seem like he was bad. He improved. At one time, they was talking about how bad he was, but he shut them up and came out and did what he had to do, and he still has that. But I just feel like his time has passed with Philly. I think sometimes, same thing with Giannis. I think sometimes you just got to go reinvent yourself somewhere else, right? That's like having a job that you're not happy with. Like, man, I
Yeah,
got to take a
that's
leap of
true.
faith and go find something that I'm happy with. So,
Exactly. Yeah. And my thing, like, and the one thing about Embiid that has always been kind of his Achilles heel, which is like a play, but
Hey,
he's always been injured, man. He's always just kind of either been injured or had like a nagging injury. It's like I can't ever remember a season where he was like, just all in and doing everything. And even that year that he won MVP, we went back and forth about that. We went back and forth about that. Hey, Giannis, I mean, not Giannis, but Joker could have
yeah.
won that
Hey
year.
guys,
So,
Isaiah 000 got a question too. We'll jump right back into Embiid in a second, but how do we feel about Boston losing game 2?
I'll go first. So, and to me, how do I feel about Boston losing game 2? They should have won this game. They had Boston losing game 2. They should have won this game. They had the game won. This series should be tied at 1 game apiece. And now that the Knicks are up 2-0, going back home to New York, playing at Madison Square Garden for game 3 and game 4, I think this series is over because if they win game 3, this series is definitely over. But if Boston wins game 3, then it's still a series.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think it's over. I think that it's definitely gonna feel like it, but I don't think it's over. I think these teams are tight, and Boston has led twice now by 20. Uh, so
yep.
they know they can do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can win. They would win in New York. So I'm just going to look at it as one game at a time, and each game is going to be a good game. Just a matter if Boston going to close out or not.
I mean, and if you want to look at that, I mean, Boston is they're a veteran team. They're the defending champs. So, and they've done everything that, they have gone through the periods of adversity where they won and they lost and they won series and they lost series and they made it to the finals and lost, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, lost, went to the NBA Finals and lost. So they made the steps, you know what I'm saying? Now I just don't know what it is. Right now the Knicks are just playing out of their mind too. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes a team can just get hot and they can just be on point, as my homeboy like to say. They can be on point and they can just be focused in on what they're doing. And once, like you said, once you get down and then you start coming back and you're able to pull out this kind of stuff, it gives you so much confidence. And that goddamn Madison Square Garden is probably going to be as live as it's been in the last 50 years.
Yeah, this will be exciting.
Come, yeah, well, heck yeah, about 50 years.
Man,
Yeah.
you said 50. Okay.
So,
But yeah,
yeah, man, you
I
gotta
mean they
think
won.
back,
They won the chip
they
in
won.
70 and 73. So yeah, I know it was probably rocking in, and then maybe the
But I
90s
mean, like,
for a second.
and
Here and there in the 90s. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a while.
but yeah, but it's been a while since. I mean, it's been a while since I think they believed in themselves like that. So,
Yeah. Okay.
we'll see.
Hey, Jerry, you asked that question about Embiid. Let me. That's a tricky one. He's so injury prone that I think they should try to move him. Let him be somebody else's issue. So yeah, I think Philly should try to move him as well. I think that ship is sailed. I don't think he's gonna get any more healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be a problem with him as the season moves on. So you can't play him like he's one of the top guys in the league. He is talent wise, but he just not. He just his size and the injuries that he have. It is not a good combination. So I would move forward at this point. You tried the process, what they call. Remember that it was the whole process thing they tried. It didn't work out with Simmons. It's not working out with Embiid. Just kind of take it for what it was and move on.
Yeah, yeah. I think even when Simmons was there and he was playing that decent at the time, they might have had a shot because they were adding pieces here and there, but they kept moving pieces and moving this person and moving that person. He ain't never been the leader. Like he been a good
Right.
player, like you said, but he's never been a leader of the team.
Yes, I agree with that. He's not a leader. Like he's a talent, super talent, but he's not a leader. He's a talent, super talent, but he's not a leader. So then you trying to pay the man like he's that too, and he's just not. Some people just are not that. They talented, super talented. So unless you're gonna bring somebody else in to be the voice, you know what I'm saying, like a Derek Fisher type player or somebody that can be a voice for your team, but not the best player. They don't have those kind of guys either. So
And
I
not,
don't,
and
they don't have those kind of guys either. So I
and
don't,
that goes back to Giannis too. I think that he may every now and then get in the locker room and say something to motivate the guys, but who do they believe in as a leader? And I think that Dame may be the leader of that team, and I think that hurts those guys like that. Like I just hadn't seen that kind of quality in Embiid and Giannis. I mean, I could be wrong, but you normally can tell on the court.
yeah,
So what do
yeah,
we
you
think
can.
is going to happen in Game 2 of the Warriors, though? That's my team. I'm a big Warriors fan.
Okay, what's up, Isaiah?
What's up?
Uh,
And
appreciate you joining us too.
I was very upset to see Curry get out after 13 minutes of the game because of a hamstring, I think it was.
Yeah, he's out for at least a week,
Yeah, hamstring, yeah.
according to the Nard report.
Nah, I feel like he'll be back Game 3 or Game 4. One of the two.
No, they said 5.
Yeah,
Don't
5 or 6.
worry.
5.
Yeah, 5
Don't
or
worry.
6.
Buddy Hill's going to come in clutch, though.
Well, I would say this: Golden State, they did bring in Jimmy Butler, so you know Jimmy Butler is an all-star level player. He's an All NBA type player. So he's not Curry, but he is an All NBA player, and
I agree to that.
not Curry, but he is an All NBA player, and
I agree to that all the way. Jimmy
he,
Butler is an amazing player.
this would be the time to really, benefit of signing him. Like this is the opportunity now to get you a couple games with him, on that path to a championship if that's where they're going to end up this year. So I'm looking to see what Butler does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and he, like you said, he is one of those, you say a franchise player, but he is a guy that is like he can be the focal
Yep.
point of your team. He's led teams before, so like you say, him stepping into that role won't be anything out of the way or not
Yeah.
uncomfortable for him. It's just I think they'll have to play a really different style of basketball without Curry being there, and
Hey,
we just
all
see
they
how
need
it goes. They did steal that
I
one
mean,
game. Yeah, you stole
that
one,
buy you
so
some time.
you
That
just
buy you a
you
little
try to
extra
hang
time.
on.
Draymond and everybody can contribute like how they did in the
Yeah.
first game. I feel like we could have a decent second game.
Yeah. I don't see why not. Because Pajinski, he can get hot. He showed that.
I love that guy. He is such a good player for how he is now.
Buddy Hill, if he's hot, he's hot. And that's all you need. You just need somebody to be hot for the next game.
Hey, they also got Buddy Hill as their second splash brother. And I want to say this. Buddy Hill was a great replacement for Klay Thompson.
Oh yes, I agree. All the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So they
And that was the whole thing about bringing Buddy Hield in, that he was supposed to be that next offensive player that was supposed to be beside Curry. I think he kind of didn't get it probably didn't hit him last year, but like you say, hey man, they're I remember playing against Calvin Baker. You
I remember
remember him, TJ? Baker. He told I think I went out one day and I twisted my ankle and then I'm gonna go out there and play basketball. He said, if you come out here on this floor, I don't care if you done broke your ankle, if you done you know what I'm saying, what it is. If you come out here to play, ain't nothing wrong with you. So you gonna get treated just how you are, and I'm gonna try to kill you. And that is the mentality that that you have to take into it on the other side. That like Golden State has to say, hey man, nobody's gonna give us anything. Nobody's gonna care that our number one guy's out. We have to come in here and we gotta play. We gotta play hard. And this is what it's for.
Hey, what's up, Renee?
It's not
Hey, Ryan.
Hey,
what
Renee.
up.
What up, Renee?
Man,
Hey, you should be happy that Boston 0-2. You should be having throwing a
man,
party.
I am. I've been up in here jumping, bro. My neighbors gonna call the police on me.
Hey, I'm in the same boat with you. I live near Boston, and I hate Boston. Everybody's like, "Oh,
I
you should
told
like
me up a
Boston."
glass of celebration wine. I'm
Well,
about to call
you're from the
Pepsi.
Boston area and you're a Warriors fan.
Oh yeah,
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't like any fans.
Oh shit.
Hey,
Yeah, I see. Okay.
yeah. Hey, Isaiah, let me ask you this question. How do you think Steph Curry's injury is going to impact y'all chances of winning this series? Because I said this before this series started. I said this is going to be a long series, so
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's going to go to 6 or 7 games. It's going to be a long series, so
oh
I think it's
yeah.
going to go to 6 or 7 games.
Oh, most definitely. Especially if Anthony Edwards actually like plays well in the second game, we might have a little trouble. But like I said earlier, if we can all just come as a team and like actually score, and if we can all just come as a team and like actually score and make good shots, I feel like we have a great chance.
Yeah.
And we all know the Warriors are always usually a clutch when it comes. What was that 15?
All right, well, I'm gonna say everybody been throwing around. Renee, you still there?
Oh,
She must.
Renee. Oh, she's taking
Oh
a
gosh,
call.
she getting a phone call. I was gonna ask her like she said since she's a she getting a phone call. I was gonna ask her like she said since she's a non-Boston liker, and I me too. I'm a Laker fan, so Boston can get swept, and I would not bat
You think
one
LeBron's
eye.
retiring?
You hear me? So I'm a
You think
Laker
LeBron's
fan,
retiring after the season?
huh? I wish LeBron had a left LA back in 2019 or not ever come. To be honest with you, man, I am not a LeBron. Uh, I'm not a fan of his. I respect his game. I respect what he has done. He's in my top 5 as far as greatest basketball players of all time. But me and 4-1 have had this discussion. There were times when he could have been in LA way before he got to his last little bit in the tank. And I hope he does. I hope he kind of decides that this year he'll go ahead and take his retirement run and kind of move out of the way. And the thing about that is so much of what is going on around the rest of the league. Like you say, we're looking at it where we got 8 teams, where it's 8 legitimate teams that could win the NBA championship. And what's the first thing on the news? Is Giannis going to play with LeBron? Is Ja Morant going to LA to play with LeBron? Man, what? I don't want to hear about that no more. The Lakers season is over with. Let's focus in on these
Younger
guys that are
guys.
playing.
Exactly.
And yes, and as the sport is going along, let's talk about the sport and the guys, what I'm saying, the ones that are still here. And then, like you said, the youth that we got, it's a lot of exciting young guys that are out there. I don't need to keep talking
You know what I
about
hate when
LeBron.
people say he's better than Michael. That's far from the truth. I hate that. That is
You
so
get no
wrong.
argument here on that.
Yeah,
When it comes to
Well, I think since
well,
I'm
not
the
for
only
me.
LeBron fan seeing like, but I wouldn't say that he's greater than Michael because Michael did things that LeBron did, and they both are great in their own aspect. I don't
yeah.
like the comparison because it's hard to compare, especially
From
if
two
you
different generations.
you're a different generation. So, but I agree with you. It's not fair to.
Different positions, different responsibilities. Yeah, like LeBron is asked to do different things that Mike wasn't asked to do, and it was and again, I take nothing away from LeBron's ability. I'm gonna tell you this, and God, I one of my best friends, man, he passed away. Rest in peace, Doug Cromartie, man. He was one of the biggest LeBron fans that was out there, and me and him would go back and forth. But I'm gonna tell you, the one time that I really fell in love with LeBron, man, and he was with Miami. and they were playing. They were playing Boston. I think that was that first year. Maybe they say when they were playing Boston, and Boston had went up like 2-1 or something like that, or and Wade was hurt. Anyway, he played. He went to Boston and destroyed them basically by himself. And I was like, where is this guy? Like I had never seen him play like that with that aggression, with that, like that, like y'all can't do nothing with me. And that was the only time I've ever seen him do that. And then he turned it back off and went back to
I think
being.
that came from too with Miami. I agree with you, but I think he had a lot of pieces that were there. And even though they turned the reins over to him, he still a lot of things he didn't have to do. He didn't have to be like the player coach. He didn't have to get in people's praise. What's his name? Adonis took care of all that stuff for him, right? And then he can count on Dwayne Wade to be
Yeah.
there, like the Jordan and Pippen type thing, right? And then you had the other role players that came in and did what. So I think he had a lot of the pieces there that allowed him just to be great, be that type of player. Then went to Cleveland. He came back, and then once again he had to be kind of do it all. And so that's been his role a lot of times. And so yeah, so I think that's where a lot of people look at those comparisons with him and Jordan, but he had to play a lot of roles though. I felt like.
Yeah, you got to put something into perspective too. Jordan played in a more physical era, way more physical. I mean, people were getting elbowed in the face, and they weren't calling fouls.
Clothesline.
Exactly.
Hey, Isaiah, and I don't want to cut
I'm
nobody.
18.
How old are
I'm
you,
18,
man?
but
If you don't
I watch
mind me asking.
all basketball.
Huh?
I love basketball.
Okay, yeah. You just sound young, but it's like golly, yeah. I mean, most people your age are kind of like, oh man, all y'all old heads, y'all just like Jordan, But you sound, you just sound young, man. But
Yeah, I
you
was
sound
raised in
like you know what
basketball.
you're
My
talking
dad
about, though.
showed me everything about basketball. So
Yeah, it sound like it.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah, because there was
yeah,
different eras and different style of play, different rules, and like Jerry knows this because he appreciate style of play, different rules, and like Jerry knows this because he appreciate ball. The games were officiated differently, rules are different.
oh yeah,
It's so many different aspects because if you take a Jordan and drop him into this last 10, 15,
oh yeah.
it's so many different aspects because if you take a Jordan and drop him into this last 10, 15 years with no hand checking, and none of that kind of stuff. Like no real centers that you have to deal with when you drive to the paint. Like it's gonna be a different ball game for him. It's gonna work out a lot better for him than it even did when he played back then with the different rules and big men that he had to deal with too on the way to the basket. So like it's a lot of different factors when you try to figure out who's the greatest of this and that. I think we should first start with who's the greatest in their particular era, and then
Yeah.
whoever those guys are left out of that, then you can kind of try to go from there. But it's
Yeah.
still at the end of the day, it's going to be an opinion, and it's going to be too many factors to really truly say it. But one thing that you can say is who won championships, and
Mhm.
winning is what you play for, in my opinion. So
I
I'm
don't know.
looking, I'm looking,
Michael went
I'm
6-0
looking.
in
Yeah, and
final
that's
wins, so
Yeah,
LeBron hasn't done that ever.
yeah. And talking about Tim Duncan and Shaq,
Rest in peace,
and I'm
Michael.
gonna look at how many championships you got, and then if you want to say after that, now you can throw your Bill Russells in there and say how many he won or how many Kareem won, and you know, now then you can start looking from there too. And Magic Johnson, by the way, who has what 5? So, like,
5
what I'm
years.
saying. So it's like,
five.
that's the way I kind of look at when I say when I look at all time greats. I'm looking at great players,
Like
put them all in the
Kobe, Kareem.
yeah, put them all in the bucket. Put all these great guys in the bucket. But then I want to look at, okay, did you win? And then also, who did you win with? And who did you win without? You know what I'm saying? All those kind of things. And that leads me to this, guy, since we're talking ball and all time greats and playoffs. It's unfortunate that Curry has this injury because if Curry would have led Golden State in this playoffs and win a championship, he now may move ahead of the LeBron
So leading into that,
with some other guys.
can we put like I put him in the top conversation of GOAT because what Curry has done for the NBA, like he changed the 3-point line. Like nobody was shooting threes until he came in.
At this rate, at this
Hey,
rate.
and you one
Yeah,
thing
and now we got big men shooting
Yeah.
threes like Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. Big men like that
That's
are
easy.
usually on the block.
I mean, the game changed, and he, I mean, whether like you say, whether I'm an old school guy, but and people get oh, you haven't changed. No, hey, I give Steph his respect
Where
because
Renee at?
you got to think about it. He has
Let me know when
been,
you're coming back, Renee. Go ahead, Antoine.
he left. That he like that he is he's been consistent. I mean, pretty consistent as far as like his ability to shoot deep and his his consistency in doing it, and the fact that, like you say, he changed the way basketball has been played over, like he changed it. And so with that being said, like you have to give him
Like it
his
or not.
credit, whether we like what was going on. Yes, you have to give him. You have to give the
Like
credit
that
where credit is
unanimous
due.
MVP
And
where he got all the
know,
votes. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his resume is I mean, it's adding up now. And then, like I said, if he was able to get another championship in this era, now you have to consider, is he the best player of his generation? So it's just unfortunate of the injury, because I don't know what's gonna happen going forward here. But if he win it this year, that means he would have beat Anthony Edwards along the way. He would have beat Joker along the way, or OKC, or Boston, New York, or Indiana. Like, he would have earned another one, and another one without KD. You know what I'm saying? Another.
and this one would have been
Yeah. So it's
without Clay.
like,
So
They
he's
can't be
proving
saying,
that
"Oh, he's winning."
he's
'Cause he had
proving that he's the guy. Yeah. So it would have been interesting to see that. So we'll see what.
it's not over with though. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's not over. Like it isn't a it's not a season ending injury. And
it
Jerry did
lingers.
say, hey,
Yeah.
especially when you get a little bit older, that
No, the hamstrings can
huh?
linger on you. Yeah.
Oh that it takes a little while for you to get it, and then like these are world class athletes, so they're getting the best treatment. Everything that can be done will be done for him. So like if he can get back,
And
that
another
will
good thing
happen.
about this hamstring,
That will happen.
this hamstring injury is that it gives him time to rest his thumb too.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that they put, that y'all pulled off that first game, like it's not a pressure of like, okay, you got to get swept. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, even if we lose 3 games in a row, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, they're looking at, if we lose 3 in a row, we still, we're giving him time to get back. And, we got to make that push, but,
I got a
it can be
question.
done.
So we
Yeah.
posed the question, and not because it's LeBron, but if Steph don't, let's just say Golden State don't win this year, do we
Okay.
start thinking the same thing about Steph? It may be time to move on.
Ooh.
What's the plan for him? Do Golden State even have? Do we even look at Golden State as being a team that can win again with the current roster anyway?
That's hard to say because they win the season. What are they gonna do? Because this is like their one season where they can actually try to prove to the world. What are they gonna do? Because this is like their one season where they can actually try to prove to the world that they're still a champion team.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one, Jerry.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's one of those things, like you say, sometimes, like, we can't, I don't think we should punish guys for loyalty, even if Steph decide, like even if it's like, okay, this is my window and my window's passed. Do I look at do I just think about myself and try to move on to be somewhere else? Because like he'll always have the freedom to be him at that team. You know what I'm saying? He's not going, be a bench player. They're not gonna probably limited shots or anything, but like, and I get what you're saying. Like, is it time to, you know, is it time to kind of give it up? And it may be, but I just don't. I don't have a problem with, even if it doesn't happen this year, with with him just staying. And like, hey, this is my team, and I might play another 2 years and do like, I'm gonna pick at you a little bit, but do the LeBron and try to get my stats up and you know walk away with that kind of
But I
stuff.
hear
So
you, and I agree. I think Steph, LeBron, those guys are on their way to say when they want to leave, right?
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, even just listening, when I put the scenario out there about Steph, like the sentiments of Steph to say is different than LeBron because they both kind of have the same heart for their teams or their teammate, right? They want to contribute, giving their best, and LeBron can still play. He just can't give everything every night like he used to, but he still is a needed player on the team, on any team
Yeah.
you ask me.
He's
So
still
that's
a
all
top
I'm
10,
saying.
12 player in the league. Like
Yeah, yeah.
LeBron, and that's a testament to how great he is. He's still, realistically, you can put him in the top 12 in the NBA right now safely.
Yeah.
And it might be higher than the top 12 in the NBA right now safely.
Yeah.
And it might be higher than that, but I'm just kind of ballparking. And that's still pretty good for somebody at this stage. Um,
Mhm.
I think the difference is LeBron has been hopping from one team to another, and Curry hasn't. So to go to state is probably thicker. It's just like if LeBron had stayed in Cleveland the whole time, it would be like, okay, you finished. It's just like if LeBron had stayed in Cleveland the whole time, it would be like, okay, you finished that all out with LeBron in Cleveland, but you probably had your organization with successor plans in place or players coming in and out. Like this Golden State, your organization with successor plans in place or players coming in and out. Like this Golden State team, even though Curry is getting older, they still run the same system that they run, which is a team system. It's not necessarily just a one player system. And they started replacing players along the way. You know what I'm saying? They started replacing like Clay, and they bringing in these guys like Hield, and they brought in Butler now. You know what I'm saying? But the Draymond and Curry has always been a constant at this point, and they
Yeah.
run their team through that. So I think with the Golden State one, that's why I think it's an interesting question. Because really, for me, it's like, okay, when do you pull the plug on the whole thing, kind of deal?
Mhm.
And right now, it seems like they still got a championship opportunity with based on the way the league is and based on where their team falls in the league. They technically can sneak a championship out of there. So I don't think they're gonna pull the move Kaminga and try to get somebody else in there, or maybe
They need to play Kaminga. They really
you know
do.
what I'm saying, or maybe they find a way to get another star player over there at some point, and they move Butler. Like maybe they bring in a Giannis and move Butler or something like that. But I think they're gonna keep that Draymond and Curry there until they are ready to kind of call it
You
quits.
know who I think should hang up the jersey?
Or ready to kind of call it quits.
You know who I think should hang up the jersey? Chris
Hmm.
Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. He's
Yeah.
he's not good anymore.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it might happen after this season. I
I mean,
think
he
this might
brings
be the
he
season.
brings good leadership to his team and gives like the younger guys like advice, yeah. But like
Yeah.
for playing wise, scoring wise, not there anymore.
Well, his role has been diminishing too. So I think he's been getting ease. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing 40 minutes a night. He's not playing a whole second half. He's just kind of playing a veteran role, and he's going to ease out of there. I think he's already. It looks like they're easing him along. So he's going to places like San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Not places where a championship is going to be had anytime soon, if you will. So like he's playing that role. So I think what you're saying is going to happen really soon. It might happen. So I think what you're saying is going to happen really soon. It might happen at the end of this season, or at least next season.
I don't think I'm like Isaiah. I don't think Chris Paul going nowhere. I think Chris Paul still want. I think like Chris Paul need to go be a coach. Start focusing on being a coach, and I think he'll be a good coach. but he
Yes.
needs to start transitioning that way. Now, if you're saying he's going to stay on the team, be a player coach, and kind of just be, I'm with this team, right? I'm going to go back who I started with, and I'm going to be that player coach and looking toward coaching. It's time to start turning the reins over to these younger guys because, even with LeBron out there, you can tell that players are starting not to give him the respect or even
Yeah.
himself and all of these guys, right? And
Right.
sometimes we don't want to relinquish. This would be like me and you out there with Isaiah, right? At playing basketball, trying to tell him what to do. And he's looking like, what's up, sit your old ass down somewhere and let me handle it. So,
Nah, I get my
uh,
ass rocked in basketball.
You trying to do like what they did? Who did that? Kobe waved off Carmelo or somebody? Who did
yeah,
in the All Star game?
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
I'm like, Isaiah, pass me the ball. I got it on running show. He sit back like, man, sit down. And so, but, I just think that Chris Paul got to understand that transition and go ahead and move on. And much so anybody, him and even though he's been playing decent this year, but with the Clippers,
Oh, you
yeah,
talking about James Harden?
James Harden, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he had a good regular season and then
hmm
his typical playoff type situation. But I think that
I
yeah,
mean, I feel
you
like
you see it. It's a transition. It's a transition happening right before our eyes. It's just a matter of when it's the full takeover. Like when is that full takeover gonna happen? That's that. Maybe this is the season that we see it, or next season at best.
so.
'Cause
Like, have we even got any updates on Wemby, Victor Wembanyama? Like,
he's gonna heal up. The surgery and all that stuff, the blood thing and all that, they already took care of everything. He'll be full recovery and ready to go.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was off his rookie season. He was so good. You could tell his potential.
well, it's there, and he'll be back. I mean, they said everything was successful, and he'll have a normal, uh, see a normal career. So he's good to go. They shut him down, and guess what?
And they were saying too if he had played enough
Oh,
games.
Shut him down, and guess what?
And they were saying too if he had played enough
most
games, he would
definitely.
have been defensive player
Oh
of the
yeah,
year this
and
year.
he'll
So
he'll probably get
With
several.
that wingspan, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then guess what? The other guy, the rookie, got rookie of the year, so they got
Oh,
a Castle.
Castle, yeah.
And they'll get Fox, and they got Castle, so they got a nice backcourt. They're
The
gonna have
Suns got
Wimby.
a young core over there.
Yeah, and they got a lottery, probably a good lottery pick coming up, or they're in position to make a trade for Giannis. Lottery pick coming up, or they're in position to make a trade for Giannis.
So y'all really think Giannis is leaving the Bucks?
I think.
I think that what Jerry was saying was from before was like sometimes like you need to leave scenery. Not to say that he's washed up or anything, but just to, sometimes you just need to be somewhere else
Like in a new environment.
to do something different. And now that would be a boy, Giannis and
Yeah,
Wimby. That'd be horrible.
and
That'd
that's
be
the
horrible.
perfect type of Spurs player, a foreigner. You know what I'm saying? Like
Team player.
great player, kind of bland.
You'd
You know
have
what I'm saying?
7-footers on a team. That's insane.
Yeah, they can run too. Like they all can run. They agile, so they'll be tough to deal with. Like they all can run. They agile, so they'll be tough to deal with. And then don't forget the speed of Rick. Not Rick Fox, but De'Aaron Fox.
Dear
So
Fox.
you got the speed of him, and
Telling Gabe,
you know De'Aaron Fox.
Dear
So
Fox.
you got the speed of him, and
telling Gabe.
you know. Rick Fox. I should have said Jamie Foxx, but but yeah, so yeah, I
Rick
mean the
Fox,
Spurs,
Jamie Fox, Red Fox, Lakers and 5.
Lakers and five,
Lakers and 5.
Fox
So
Network, Fox Sports.
How we feeling about Cleveland Pacers right now? Pacers taking a 2-0 lead on Cleveland, the number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, we looking at.
I think that series is over.
Yeah, I think
yeah, we all have
we were all kind of giving the Pacers that series kind of now.
I want
That
Pacers to go all the way for that one. I don't want Cleveland to win.
well, look at it this way. Donovan Mitchell did everything worldly possible to win that game too, and that
He
would
almost
have
had
bought
50.
that could have bought them enough time to possibly get Mobley back running and whoever else got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Even before Garland, because Garland didn't play game one, but Mobley got hurt and one more guy got hurt. What's the guy with the fro? The big man with the afro.
Get it out.
Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Fair
go.
enough.
So that might have bought a little time if you can get that 1-1 split. I mean, a 1-1 at home, and then that might buy you enough time to get some guys back. But 0-2, and those guys are hurt. It's just a bad draw right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens in the playoffs. Some teams, if you go through the history of the playoffs, a lot of times this kind of stuff happens, and it opens doors for other teams to advance and win championships. Look at Toronto.
Has anybody looked at the score of the Denver game right now?
Yeah, 41-20. 43-21. Okay.
Yeah.
First quarter is insane.
Yeah, it's
OKC not playing. They trying to tie this baby up.
Yo, Shea
yeah.
is an explosive player. He's explosive.
Hey guys, but you remember
They
we just talked about all these 20-point lead comebacks and stuff. So
They are in this NBA. That they are never safe. They are a 20-point lead can vanish just as quick as you put it up. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we could be talking at halftime and they're only down 2. So it is a definite. With like you say, and with the way that they play, everybody plays kind of fast. Everybody shoots the 3. And so it can, 2 or 3 possessions and you knocked off 9 points of that lead. So
yeah, and real quick, guys, the Nuggets. Remember the talk? They got rid of the coach, and it was like, why do that? Why get rid of the coach right before the playoffs and all that? And I wonder if that first round and now playing, possibly 1-1 with OKC after the 2 games. Are we good with it? Is everybody okay with what they did?
I think at the end, if they don't win this season, win this series, he gone.
I mean,
They got the interim coach in there now. So
like about that 20-point lead, like anything can happen, like you said. It can come back. Like you remember in the beginning of the season where Boston on Cleveland, they had like a 25-point lead against Cleveland. They only had 3 in the first quarter. And then what happened the rest of the game? Cleveland came back and said, nope.
Yep, that's it. I mean, hell, we just saw it with Boston and New York. That score was 70-50 tonight.
True. I watched that game. I watched the whole game.
And they lost.
Yeah, I mean, at home, and so like it's and so like the even though Denver's on the even though they're on the road, like they're still a veteran team. They won a championship, so like
they have one of the best players on that team.
Well, they got the best player in the league. I mean, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Joker's the best player in the league. I mean, like we can.
And then is averaging a triple-double every night. So
yeah, I can't argue with that.
40 points.
That dude's the best. He's the best in the league right now.
Yeah. And so
if you're just saying one player, I gotta say I'll take him before I take anybody else.
Yeah, me too. And so you like you say, you got the guys. I mean, and you'll get, even though sometimes like you can kind of look at these things and think that they're bad. Sometimes teams are just. Sometimes like you can kind of look at these things and think that they're bad. Sometimes teams are just hitting and they're just they're just playing the thing. Sometimes you're able to kind of sneak guys in that you wouldn't be able to sneak in at certain times, and sometimes you're able to kind of sneak guys in that you wouldn't be able to sneak in at certain times and give them runs and, kind of rest you guys, even though, they're not doing it. You're going to get a push anywhere between the second and the third quarter, and you'll see. And if, I think they're smart enough in Denver to be like, you know what, if it's not down to like maybe 5 points at the beginning of the fourth, it's still real high. They're probably smart enough to say, you know what, we'll let some of these other guys get some run. We'll let our guys rest, and we'll be ready to go back home and
right.
Get that.
Yeah.
We won't have. We won't have
Tiffany,
somebody out there trying to pad their stats and trying to be the all-time
hey,
greatest, this and that, and just out there picking up points when this shit don't matter.
hey, hey, Symphony of Violence, if you're out there, if you don't mind, if you're out there, you got a chance, jump in for a minute. If you're out there, because I got a boxing question for you, especially with this Canelo and Crawford announcement. So if you're out there, I just want to ask you something real quick.
You talk
If
about
you-
any other
Oh,
sports,
which fight?
like football, baseball.
Yeah, we talk other stuff. Yeah, we talk. You know, I can talk WWE with you if you wanted to. But
Whoa!
I,
So
I do have a
Canelo
question
and
about the Canelo.
what you calling the fighting?
Yeah, Crawford, September 12th.
Oh
Wait,
snap!
no way.
Yeah, and
Oh
Symphony of
boy,
Violence is our boxing contact.
I hadn't saw that. Oh damn! Now yeah, I gotta.
Oh, I think I might have to watch that game.
Yeah,
I think I'm
that's
gonna have to
gonna
watch
be
that match.
That's September
that's gonna
12th.
be a
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't miss that one.
That's some must watch TV right there.
Yeah, you can't miss that one. Like that. That is a fight that you can't miss. That's an event you can't. You just can't miss
Yeah.
that. September 12th. You gotta watch that. I don't care if you will have to order it or if you gotta go somewhere and hang out somewhere and watch it. You have to watch this one because Crawford is arguably pound for pound the best in the world. Canelo is in the top pound for pound. He's been on top of his game for years now. I think his
Yeah.
only real blemish was when he lost to Floyd Mayweather early in his career. So like this is the mega fight right here. This is the one, and these two guys will fight each other. They're not gonna, you know, kind of run around for 12 rounds. They're gonna literally fight each other.
Hold on,
This is
And
one of the ones, like this is one of those ones that even the casual, like say,
yeah,
I'm more of a
yeah,
casual boxer. This is one of those ones where like even and it used to be that way back with boxing, man. I think that was what boxing is kind of lost when you had guys,
yeah.
that when they fought, even the most casual person knew who Mike Tyson was, or like that kind of stuff. And so like I think that this will bring that, this will help boxing,
that was one guy you did not want to mess with back then. Tyson.
Tyson, yeah.
yeah,
Not
You
prime
looked at him
Tyson.
wrong. You looked at him wrong. He'd snap at you.
yeah, he was,
Not prime Tyson. No,
he was
but
a whole different guy. But yeah,
hey, and also,
that's
and,
September 12th. I need to go mark that, baby.
yeah, yeah. And then also with that fight, oh, he's going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, and that's the big question mark that's out there. Like, can he go up 2 weight classes and fight a guy that's already been at that up there at that weight and is strong too? Canelo's strong too, so
Oh
like
yeah,
that's what makes it interesting. So that's why I wanted to hear from Symphony of Violence on that. So
oh
like
yeah.
that's what makes it interesting. So that's why I wanted to hear from Symphony of Violence on that because he boxes and he's in the boxing
You know
club.
what, man? I remember that fight with Canelo and
Yeah,
Floyd, and man, it was just like you saw Canelo have the talent. It was just like he was almost scared of him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like he
he
doubted
couldn't
his
get,
stuff, and he was afraid
he
of
couldn't
the
catch him.
match. Uh,
Remember, that's Floyd Mayweather though too. He
You
was
can't
fighting.
catch him. You can't hit Floyd. He was swinging that air.
You know who I give props to for fighting Floyd Mayweather? Logan Paul. Unlike Jake, his shit wasn't scripted.
Yeah, at least he got out there, but yeah, that's cool. Logan Paul made I can't knock them boys. Them boys, they making it happen. Hey, Jake Paul actually fighting a real boxer in another month.
When's
He's fighting Julio, he's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So he's actually gonna fight somebody who really boxes for it.
Oh shit! Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is though, Tyrone, he picking people that ain't nobody. Yeah, I mean he's gonna beat
Yeah.
those guys. So
You're
hell,
right.
pick a
Nah,
number one contender. Somebody
let
who
Jake
a
let Jake
contender.
let Jake Paul fight Tank Davis.
See
You
it.
know, fight somebody that we know. Yeah, give us a fight.
Yo, Tank Davis is
Yeah.
fucking shit up.
Go bring back
Hey,
what's his name that lost the throne from the heavyweight championship. What is his name?
Wilder.
Wilder. Yeah, put him and
Ooh,
Wilder together. That'd be a fight.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great
Hey,
fight.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I just put on the game right now. I'm watching the Nuggets game right now. I just put it on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's OKC's they looking spry tonight. They looking like they got an extra gear in them tonight. And Nuggets look like right now they look like, hey, we happy we got that first one. That's how it looks.
Who we
But we'll
got
see
winning
how.
MVP this season?
Oh, Shay.
You think Shea?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they got to give it to Shea.
yeah, yeah.
All
Number
right,
one seed, number one seed, best record in the NBA.
let's talk.
Yeah,
What happened to Russ after he left OKC? His career went down.
I
yeah,
think Russ, he couldn't find a home. He couldn't find nowhere where he fit in because OKC
exactly,
where he would be
I
fit
bet
in,
you. I bet you. If
nowhere where he fit in because OKC
exactly.
where he would be
I
fit
bet
in.
you. I bet you. If he went back to OKC, he'd play so much better.
I don't think he could fit in with them now because they're a whole nother squad. Like when he was
Yeah,
there, especially when they had like James Harden. He's been trying to find his way in. I mean, but he's
yeah.
been surviving. Like I've been watching him with here with Denver. He's been starting the game. He's been playing. Actually
I
got in a
mean,
fight. I think he got a technical too.
I mean,
But
Yeah,
hey, he's looking good with Jokic, man. Him and Jokic are having good chemistry together.
yeah. I mean, it's like what Jerry was saying. He just got to find the right role. Like his role has always been, he's got the ball. He get to dominate, and he gets to take all the drives to the basket. Like, but those days have passed him since he left Washington. So, like, and all the other like LA, that was a horrible spot to go to. And then like with the Nuggets, he's not being asked to be the guy. He's just asked to be a,
To
you
pass
know,
the ball.
be a 6 man for us. Be a utility guy. If we need somebody to start, we know we can go to you. Like and that's good for him. I think that's where he's
yeah,
at.
yeah.
Yeah,
Russ plays he's a good role player. He plays his role. He get out there and play when he's a good role player. He plays his role. He get out there and play when and he ain't arguing and crying about playing. So you
yeah,
know, but he'll
yeah,
last though. He'll last because he ain't trying to be the man. He's just like, hey, but he'll
yeah.
last though. He'll last because he ain't trying to be the man. He's just like, hey, when I get my opportunity, I make the best of it.
That's it. That's the key, Jared. Like you gotta understand when it's time to be, the back seat. You gotta ride the back seat. You know what I'm saying? You can't always be in that front seat. That's why some guys like Allen Iverson, and I get it. They'll tell you that, hey, I can't be the man no more. I'm done. At least I like guys like that too, because they're not hanging around knowing that this is not their style. So
To my opinion, Allen Iverson had the
either
best dribbles in the NBA.
yeah, that's the crossover. Yeah, but you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You got to know when to like, hey, this is my new role. I'll embrace it. Or if not, I need to get out the way. And that's where Russell's at. He knows his
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got something for you for football.
What's up?
I hate Antoine got off of there because I want him to answer this. I think he's trying to get back in. But all right, give me your thoughts on retired jerseys and players coming into new teams. Coming to their new organization.
I don't think it should happen. Let the jersey stay retired. If they're retired, they're retired. That means the player who had it played a great in that game in that team. They should have their jersey retired and not be able to play with it again.
Yeah, I agree with Isaiah on that one. I think that one is hard. I think somebody said like they came into the team, maybe it was Kobe or somebody, but like sometimes to the team, maybe it was Kobe or somebody, but like sometimes they'll pay those people like let me have this number or whatever. I mean, I don't even know if it should even be up to the individual whose jerseys being retired. I think once that jersey retired, then it needs to stay that way. So
Yeah.
So some football. If we talk about football, how we feeling that the Jaguars are gonna let Travis Hunter play both sides?
I think Jaguar need that motivation, and I think that they'll do it. I think he'll just be
They need
they're
offense.
going. Yeah,
But
I
I feel
think
like
he.
oh my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I feel like Travis Hunter plays a way better corner than he does a wide receiver.
Hmm.
That's just me though.
That's. I mean, he's he could be great at either one, but since he's playing both, I think it's going to keep him from being what he could be at either side of the. It's going to keep him from being where he could be at either side of the ball. Um, I think that a team like Jacksonville, they can afford to say, "Hey, we'll play you both ways." You know what I'm saying? So we'll take you and we'll play you both ways. Like if he was on a championship team, I don't think.
If I'm Travis Hunter, I'm playing defense because I'd rather hit than to get hit. Because you're gonna get hurt
Yeah,
a whole lot faster than delivering a hit and getting hit. So I think,
exactly.
so I think even if you look at his athletic ability, I think he plays better on as a DB, as a receiver. I just think that he can offer more as a defensive back because he can do different things. He can move over. He probably can roll and play safety. He can do different things. And as a receiver, he can't. He's kind of limited on what he's doing. Right. I'm just going out for a pass. Whatever that route tree is, that's kind of where you're limited to.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Because that's the thing too, man. Putting your body at risk, getting hit, and by these guys, and then turn around and go play defense, then go back out there and run routes, and
Ah.
then get hit.
Oh.
Like that's a lot, man. I don't know how many games you gonna make it in the NFL doing that.
Ooh. Sorry. That was. Oh God. Rush just had a nice ass clean layup. Ooh. Sorry. That was. Oh God. Rush just had a nice ass clean layup. Ooh.
Did he make it?
Oh yeah, he made it. Ooh, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, okay. See, did he make it?
Oh yeah, he made it. Ooh, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, okay. See, you're slightly ahead of me. I just saw it. Okay.
But Tyrone, I think that he'll be okay for a season or two because I
Uh
think
huh.
his athletic ability is going to carry him. Right? Remember
Oh
when
yeah.
you was younger, you feel like you could just run and do everything. Right? I think he
Yeah.
still has that youth that it would carry him for just a little while. But I think eventually he's gonna come to that if he won't probably longevity or less chances of affecting that. I think his role would probably diminish him at points, for certain situations. I don't think points, for certain situations. I don't think he's going to run 20 or 30 plays on offense and, a full setup on defense. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So you think they're gonna package him up on offense then?
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, you got to for the safety of him. You can't just say, oh, okay, every down you on offense and every down you on defense. Nah,
okay. So you not a full.
you on defense. Nah.
Okay. So you not a full time receiver then.
I
Just
think it's going to be based on who they play. Like if they playing a team where they need his skill set at DB, then they're going to utilize him more there. Then they'll utilize him there more.
See.
okay.
Yeah, I see what you
Anybody?
mean by that. I see. I see. I get what he means. All
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how it pan out. I'm curious to see how it go. I'm gonna be watching.
I'm excited for this season coming up.
Yeah, I want to see how this works. I mean, I know there's guys that's played both sides before. Even Dion played, a little bit of receiver when he was in Dallas. I think he did a little bit of that, but bit of receiver when he was in Dallas. I think he did a little bit of that, but it was kind of a package kind of deal with Dion. Uh, and he played defense full time, so that's why I'm curious at it with Hunter. You know, in
Yeah.
Colorado and at Jackson State, you know, in
Yeah.
Colorado and at Jackson State, he played defense and offense all the time. I just want to see if he can do that in the NFL.
And I think you got to look at it. The air temperature there is different. So you're tired, right? So if he's
Yeah,
able to do that on
altitude.
both sides of the ball there, you're probably all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be muggy in Jacksonville
Oh yeah.
and hot.
But
But yeah, I can't wait though. He's a Florida
oh,
boy, so I mean, then he from Florida, right?
He's
So
actually from Georgia,
yeah, he
but
from
they
Georgia.
think they moved to Florida.
okay, so he live
I'm
in
excited
both.
to see my team play. That's it. I want to see how we're doing. We got some great defensive players coming to our team.
Who your team?
I'm a Bills fan. Go Bills
Oh,
Mafia.
my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you was Nard for a second. I was looking away from my screen.
Nah, Bills Mafia all the way.
Yeah. You're a Bills fan. Okay.
I mean, Mafia all the way.
Yeah. You're a Bills fan. Okay.
I mean, we just got one of my favorite the defensive tackles, Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? When I saw that trade, I was like, no.
Isaiah,
What's
when
up?
are they gonna get over the hump?
This season,
Okay.
we finally have defense that can block the run, and then defense that can block the run, and then oh, I
That's
hate
no
him. Oh,
problem.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's tough, man.
It's not
That's a
even
tough.
us. It's not even us against the team. It's us against the refs.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
It's crazy
Yeah.
though, because we beat them in the regular season, but we can't
Yep.
beat them in the playoffs.
That
Right.
needs to be studied.
It does.
Oh yeah, when it comes to football, I'm on that. See,
Yeah.
I play football myself, but sadly this season I couldn't play. Tore my ACL.
Oh man. Okay. How you recovering?
Oh, I'm recovering great. I'm one of the to my physical therapist. She says I'm one of the greatest, fastest recovery she's ever seen.
Wow. Okay.
I'm only 5 months out, and I'm already running and jumping.
That's impressive.
It's because I have a goal in mind. Next year, it's my last season of because I'm still in
Okay.
high school. I stayed back a grade, so it's my last season of high school football, and I have it in my mind like this is gonna be my season where I pop off, and
Okay.
and in my mind this year I'm having a season where I pop off, and
Okay.
and in my mind this year I'm having the goal of getting comeback player of the year for my high school team.
Hey, bro, you gotta keep us posted, man.
Oh, bet I'll definitely keep y'all posted.
Let me. Hey, bro, you gotta keep us posted, man.
Oh, bet I'll definitely keep y'all posted.
Let me make sure I'm following you on following your page. I'll make sure to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm not a TikTok poster. I'm gonna start posting stuff this season though.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, make sure we follow you, man. Keep
But
track.
Isaiah, so
what's
you
up?
playing football. What is your goal as a football player from this point? Is your goal is to continue in football? Is that your
I mean,
thing?
I'll go to college and I'll play. If I play, I play. I'm not trying to make it to the NFL
Okay, okay,
because like my real dream. I'll be honest. I'm a great ass cook. I can cook. I can cook up. I want to
okay.
open a restaurant. That's my goal in life.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hmm.
So that's what I
Okay,
want to do. I want to open up a restaurant.
okay.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm already a chef at the restaurant. So well, not like the
And
head chef, but like I'm a cook at the restaurant. So that's the
So
that's
goal.
your that's your
yeah,
gift, bro.
that's definitely good.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
come check it out too.
Well,
Oh,
I'm gonna put a plug in for officiating because they need young men coming out, and especially not coming out of high school, man. I wish I would have known earlier in my life, even though I've been doing it for a while now and just starting to really advance. But I imagine if I was 20, 21, man, the sky's the limit. So, that could be a option along with your ambition to be a chef.
oh yeah,
And the money that they're making out there, especially even like me doing college, and then this my first year doing Division 1. Even though I didn't do hardly no games, that's just how it is. Hopefully this year I'll get more games. But man, some of
you
these
play
cats
Division
are making,
One?
yeah. Some of these guys are doing, but I'm on a lower division. I'm not doing ACC or the
Oh,
SEC.
okay.
But it's a bridge, right? You got to just get it, or the Big Sky, or these smaller D1 conferences. It's hard to get in those.
Exactly.
And And so Division 2 is the same way. Like, don't take that as a joke, or even JUCO to a degree. It's good. I mean, if that's all you're going to be, because officiating at the JUCO level is no different than officiating at Division 1 level. It's just by opportunity. That's all. So
Yep.
Man,
everybody don't get the opportunity, but your officiating is all. So
Yep.
man.
everybody don't get the opportunity, but your officiating is no different.
And like nobody can tell me I'm not putting in the work. I've been putting in the work. I've been going to the gym like crazy. I want to have my best season so far next year. Crazy. I want to have my best season so far next year.
Well, that's good. That's good. You got a plan and you're trying to stick to it. So, hey, man, I
Not gonna
wish
lie,
you the
and
best.
my goal is to become. I'm a defensive lineman. I play nose right in front of the snapper. So like my goal, I really don't mind playing it, but I want to play linebacker because
Wow.
if I have a more running start, I'll get through that defense quickly.
But hey, man, I believe you. You sound like you got a mission and on the drive. So, hey, keep it up.
I
Yep. That's
appreciate
it.
it.
Hey guys, I know we've been on for a few, so I don't want to wear you guys out, but I do appreciate y'all being on. Anything you want to close out with before we roll out?
I want to say one
Lakers in
thing before
5.
I end up. I want to say, how about them boys? I want to say, how about them boys?
Oh man.
Oh man, well we gonna see, man. I was hoping that Steeler fan he tried to join on. It looked like he was trying to get on a couple times. Man, I was hoping that Steeler fan he tried to join on. It looked like he was trying to get on a couple times. What happened to
Okay, I forgot to ask
him?
everybody. What's their basketball team? What's y'all basketball team? I didn't ask that earlier.
Hawks. I'm a Hawks fan.
Hawks. Okay.
Hey, oh,
Yeah, I'm from the ATL.
She was happy about him earlier winning.
Renee?
Oh, she gone.
Oh,
Hey,
she kind of tied up.
they
We'll get her next
said,
time. But she a Laker fan.
Oh, she. Oh, I
well,
thought she was a Knicks fan. She was so
No, she a
excited.
Laker fan. She a Laker fan.
Oh, she. Oh, I
well,
thought she was a Knicks fan. She was so
No, she a
excited.
Laker fan.
Oh, Lakers
they,
fan.
No, she just can't stand Boston. So
I mean, who can really?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, she can't.
I live in near Boston, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, she can't.
I live in near Boston, and I'm not a Boston fan. So,
I'm a Lakers fan. LA to the day I die.
there you
and
go. There you
I'm
go,
Golden State until
Lakers.
the day I die.
L.A. baby.
I
But
keep
so
hearing
we
somebody say Atlanta. I know
yep,
I must be hearing things.
L.A. baby.
I
But
keep
so
hearing
we
somebody say Atlanta. I know
yep.
I must be hearing things.
Atlanta.
You heard
When's
Nard.
When's Atlanta
Nard.
gonna make the playoffs?
next season though, we should have made it this season though. But I was pissed when we lost to the Heat in that final playing game because we should have beat them. But what made me better about that loss was they got swept by the Cavaliers. So I'm glad about it now.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Atlanta need to get a center. They need to get a
OKC's
real
almost to
center.
100 points. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I think we should make the playoffs next year. But just because my team's not in the playoffs, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop not gonna watch the playoffs because I'm a basketball fan in general.
Oh yeah.
Because these people be like, I'm not watching playoffs unless my team is in it. You know what I'm saying?
No. I love
See,
the
but
game, so
one thing
I
that
watch all
happens
the
with
team.
me, one thing that happens with me all the time, I do it all the time. When the because I'm a baseball fan too. When the World Series comes around, I put all sports aside. I watch the World Series. That's what I keep up with.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
my
cool.
team's always been great. I mean, we have the most rings in MLB history. Big New York City, big big New York Yankees.
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know how you get out of the ball. You say you stay in the Boston area?
Yeah.
And you a Yankees fan?
I like I said, I do not like no New England teams.
Wow.
And plus,
Okay.
I'm half Puerto Rican, so my dad raised me on Yankees.
On the Yankees?
And plus,
Okay.
I'm half Puerto Rican, so my dad raised me on Yankees.
On the Yankees? Okay.
So
Okay.
I've been watching them since I was a little ass kid.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Hey Renee, you had anything before we roll? I know. Okay. That's all right. You know how we do. We'll run it back.
All
We'll
right.
run it back. Boston is down 0-2. So
For sure,
what do you
that's
think?
for sure.
And
What are you seeing? What's going on with Boston in your mind? In your opinion?
They gonna get the piece of cake.
all right,
Was that
everybody, I'm gonna head
I
out.
feel like they ain't taking it as serious because they just won. So they just feel they coming. They ain't taking it as serious because they just won. So they just feel they coming in a little too cocky and not humble.
yeah. Yeah.
They coming in a little too cocky and not humble off their championship.
They're trying
Any
to keep
given, we say in football, any given Sunday, any given at any given time.